For years, entrepreneur Gregory Sancoff sent images of his unique design to the Office of Naval Research. But as he stated, quote, "They laughed at me. They thought I was crazy." Though discouraged, the visionary continued his work until the authorities suddenly showed interest, but not in the usual way. After 6 months of intense work in his hangar, Sancoff got a call from his attorney. Frantically, he said, quote, "I got something in the mail. I've never seen anything like it, and I've been practicing for 35 years. The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office had sent a letter with a recommendation from the Office of Naval Research. It was a secrecy order. Sancoff was forbidden from filling his patents internationally or talking about his invention, not even to potential customers, and they didn't say why. So his creation awaited patiently in a rusted and ivy-covered building of the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard in Maine, until the Ghost, the attack helicopter of the seas, could be publicly revealed. The evolution of military vehicles, from the roaring 1920s to the cutting-edge present day, has been nothing short of remarkable, and the Ghost might just be something else entirely. If you're curious about the journey that brought us to this point, be sure to explore War Thunder's extensive collection of vehicles, which spans over 100 years of development. As hardcore technology fans, we share your passion for military tech and marvel at the opportunity to command our favorite vehicles, simultaneously interacting across land, water, and air. With more than 2,000 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships at your command, War Thunder allows you to dive into dynamic, combined arms PvP battles in a highly immersive experience, courtesy of the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever. Not only that, but War Thunder's vehicles are rendered in meticulous detail, showcased in breathtaking 4K resolution, and complemented by authentic soundscapes and captivating music. Whether you yearn for high-octane action or prefer a realistic tactical experience, the game caters to all playstyles. Join now by clicking the link in the description below for a free gaming experience on PC, Xbox, or PlayStation, and fly the most incredible warplanes, command the most potent warships, drive the heaviest tanks, and forge the fate of the battlefield to your will. What's more, if you're a new player or haven't played in the last 6 months, you can claim a massive bonus pack, including multiple premium vehicles, a premium account, an exclusive 3D decorator for your vehicles, and much more for a limited time only. Ready to take the plunge? See you in War Thunder. On the morning of October 12, 2000, the USS Cole, a U.S. Navy destroyer under the command of Commander Kirk Lippold, arrived in Aden Harbor, Yemen, for a routine refueling stop. After completing its mooring at 9:30 a.m., the ship began refueling as usual roughly an hour later. Everything seemed in order. However, a tragedy struck around 11:18 a.m. local time when a small boat loaded with C4 explosives and 2 bombers approached the port side of the Cole and detonated, creating a massive 40 by 60-foot gash in the ship's port side. The explosion, orchestrated by the terrorist organization Al-Qaeda, resulted in the loss of several crew members who were in the galley area, and many more were injured. The crew of USS Cole valiantly fought flooding in the ship's engineering spaces and managed to get the damage under control after 3 days. Fortunately, divers confirmed the keel of the ship remained intact. In the aftermath, the injured sailors were transported to the United States Army's Landstuhl Regional Medical Center in Germany before returning to the United States. Still, this attack was the gravest of its kind on a U.S. naval vessel since the USS Stark in 1987. The incident shocked millionaire inventor Gregory Sancoff, CEO of Juliet Marine Systems, an entrepreneur who ventured from medical technology into weaponry design. Confounded, he reportedly pondered about the loss of 17 sailors and $1 billion ship to, quote, some Yahoo terrorists in a cheap little boat and $500 worth of explosives. And he rolled up his sleeves. Gregory Sancoff, a serial entrepreneur with a history of building successful companies outside the defense industry, recognized a gap in the Navy's capabilities as an opportunity for innovation. He founded Juliet Marine Systems and initiated the development of a solution, the Ghost, a stealthy small boat designed for combat in high-risk areas like the Strait of Hormuz. Ghost's unique features included a minimal radar signature, a design that allowed it to cut through waves smoothly, and an advanced system called supercavitating propulsion, provided by 2 2,000-horsepower engines. It's far from your typical boat. It resembles a matte gray aircraft, more than a traditional watercraft. In fact, as Sancoff once expressed, his goal was to create a vessel that could operate as the attack helicopter of the sea, performing coastal defense anti-terrorism missions and protecting naval vessels from armed speedboat swarms. Built from non-magnetic aluminum and stainless steel, Ghost is challenging to detect with sonar and has no radar signature, hence the name Ghost. This 38-foot marvel defies convention, designed to glide above the water's surface in narrow struts reminiscent of wings. These struts are attached to a 62-foot-long tube housing a gas turbine engine that can be maneuvered up and down. When cruising at speeds of 8 knots or higher, they rotate downward to elevate the hull, offering a smoother ride by eliminating wave impacts. The Ghost's secret weapon lies in a groundbreaking phenomenon known as supercavitation. Picture this. You're cruising along a serene lake in a high-speed boat, and suddenly, you surround yourself with an invisible bubble. This bubble, a low-pressure zone, is the key to the Ghost's remarkable speed and stealth capabilities. Supercavitation happens when an object, like the Ghost, zooms through water at breathtaking speeds. As it accelerates, it creates a unique situation. The boat moves so swiftly that it essentially carves out a cavity of low pressure around itself, reducing the friction it encounters from the surrounding water. This low-pressure bubble becomes the Ghost's secret sauce for extraordinary velocity. Now imagine taking things to the extreme. At incredibly high speeds, this low-pressure bubble doesn't just stay a water-based phenomenon. Instead, it morphs into something almost magical, a thin layer of air. This thin layer of air encases the Ghost, allowing it to glide through the water with unprecedented ease. It's akin to the thrill of breaking the sound barrier, but in the aquatic realm. In an interview, the visionary stated, quote, "We're reducing hull friction, which hasn't changed much since the Vikings. It's like breaking the sound barrier." Juliet Marine Systems, Sancoff's startup, invested $15 million into the project. The vessel has generated interest from top government officials, but the Department of Defense remains cautious about partnering with small startups for such groundbreaking technology. Despite Sancoff's overtures to the U.S. Navy and the Pentagon, initial interest waned. DARPA eventually contacted him for contract negotiations, but Sancoff refused due to their demands for full patent rights. Juliet Marine filed more than a dozen patents for this revolutionary technology, attracting attention from the U.S. Navy and DARPA. Then, a secrecy order from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office hampered progress, prohibiting Juliet Marine from discussing the technology with potential investors. It took 2 years for the order to be lifted. The secrecy orders were placed without explanation, severely hindering the company's ability to do business and stifling innovation. Nevertheless, investment from Avalon Ventures helped propel the Ghost into successful trial runs, with top speed reaching 29 knots and the potential to achieve 50. Moreover, Ghost's development wasn't without its challenges. It defied conventional naval architecture by employing supercavitation technology, which had previously been challenging to steer. Ghost's design shifted propellers to the front, improving stability and control, thus achieving its eureka moment. However, the path was far from smooth. Sancoff sought potential international buyers for the Ghost, but the State Department imposed stringent export regulations on defense-related systems, effectively preventing Juliet from discussing the technology with foreign countries. The bureaucratic hurdles continued, leading to layoffs at Juliet Marine Systems. Senator Kelly Ayotte advocated for the company's cause, but progress remained slow. In 2015, Sancoff filed a lawsuit against the government, alleging significant financial losses due to secrecy orders. The legal battle is ongoing, with the government seemingly employing delay tactics. Nevertheless, Sancoff views Juliet Marine Systems as an essential source of innovation for the defense sector, and remains resolute in his mission to provide innovative solutions to national security challenges. The potential market for such naval vessels is substantial, estimated at around $46 billion in the next decade. Ghost's technology could also be adapted for torpedoes, sea drones, or commercial use, such as high-speed transport to oil platforms. Several countries, including Qatar, Israel, and Korea, have expressed interest. Despite budget cuts, the Department of Defense may eventually see the value in Ghost's capabilities. Juliet Marine's vision is to supply the U.S. Navy, but they're open to international opportunities to ensure the company's success. As Gregory Sancoff puts it, sometimes pioneering technology requires working with foreign allies before convincing one's own government. At Dark Tech, we can't get enough of War Thunder's realistic gameplay, and you don't even need extra pilot hardware. If you already have a mouse and a keyboard, you're good to go. Click on the link in the description below and experience real combat from the comfort of your own couch. See you there.